Howdy, hombres. My name's L.A.zy. Welcome back to Persona 4 Gold. Now, in the last episode, we got one of the more depressing endings after forcing Namatame here into the TV. But as you can see here, we're back at this point again, and we're gonna see this through as well. So, we're gonna be picking choices. I actually googled up and see what choices can be done in order to prevent him from being killed by us. So, we are gonna be doing this. Okay, so I photographed the answers to the needed questions in order to prevent him from being killed off. So let's hope that this will be the case. Okay, so we all pretty much saw this. Yeah, this is pretty much everything.
You have your life, and now you want your freedom too?
I can either skip it or, keep it. Let's see. Alright, you know what? Yeah, let's fast forward it a little bit. Alright, just a little bit more, I think, until the first decision. Alright, so this first response should be... Wait a second here.
We don't have time to wait. If we don't do this now, the cops will come back. What are you trying to say?
We're missing something. Yeah, that's the next response.
Something we don't know. What don't we know?
Alright, Namatame's true feelings.
But we just heard the guy's true feelings on TV!
Jesus.
What didn't you understand?
Something's been bothering me. Yeah, that's the next answer. Something's been bothering me.
Well, what is it?
Jesus, Yosuke's almost inconsolable.
I already told you there's no time to waste. Are you even getting at something here, or are you just stalling?
Alright, we're missing something.
Missing? Like what exactly? Damn it, I've heard enough of this bullshit. Give me a straight answer. Are we doing this or not? That's all I give a damn about right now.
Alright, calm the hell down. You yelled at everyone to calm down. Oh, Namatame's about to lose it.
Let's all calm down for a second.
Yeah, I agree. Alright, I think I got all the responses right unless there's something else.
I'm perfectly calm.
No, you're not.
Hey, what did you mean by we're missing something?
What's there to miss with a sick bastard like him?
Hey, let's all take a deep breath. After what happened to Nanako-chan and seeing Dojima-san, we're not thinking straight right now.
Fine.
Everyone took a deep breath. Seems that everyone has finally regained their composure.
You're right. We should calm down and think rationally about this.
Yeah, we already killed them once. Let's not do it again.
I realize now that we've heard almost nothing from Namatame's perspective.
Exactly.
There's no denying that this man brought great harm to Nanako-chan. But other than that point, the rest comes from our assumptions based on watching the Midnight Channel a moment ago. I won't deny that we were blinded by the heat of the moment, trying to impute all responsibility to him rashly.
But... yeah, the guy's not saying anything. Whatever reason he had, there's no doubt about the fact that he'd been throwing people inside the TV.
There has got to be a reason for it, and that's what we need to know.
It was him who put Senpai through that misery. How can we possibly understand someone who says killing people is the same as saving them?
Failing to understand and failing to listen are rather different things. Truthfully, not all the hitches that were nagging at me have been answered yet. We'll have to see what he can tell us about them. Though it appears he's in no condition to do so at the moment.
Okay, then.
True. Dealing with him right now might not solve all the things that are bothering us. Damn it. But you better remember this. I'll do everything I can to stop him from repeating what he's done. Anytime, anywhere, anything.
Alright, any responses now? I feel the same way.
Jeez, how the hell can you stay so calm, man?
I just have to.
And again, that's why you're our leader. Alright, let's go ahead and think this through as much as we need.
Yeah.
If we leave any unanswered questions behind, We'll just be lying to ourselves. Yeah, that ain't gonna cut it. All right, I'm convinced.
Thank you.
Good.
I'll think as hard as I can and try to help.
We all know how you feel, Yosuke. Come on. We've accomplished this much together, haven't
Oh,
we?
Jesus. She sounds like she's about to break.
Right. Together.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Sorry. And thanks.
The case has taken a sharp turn, and the investigation team is now one step closer to the truth, since they will go on with your friends to solve another mystery. Alright, and that's maxed out. Nice. Oh man, I almost skipped this. Okay then. The full Arcana maxed out. We've established a genuine bond between all our friends. Loki, the ultimate form of the full Arcana. Oh, that's good. Investigation team social link reached maximum level. Mastered the investigation team social link. Power to create the personas of the full Arcana reached maximum. Arcana used forged bond cannot be broken. You can now fuse Loki, the shapeshifter. Ooh, what's this? A new one? Whoa, what's that? Now establish a new bond. I shall bless on creating personas of the Judgment Arcana. Oh man! A new one altogether. Seekers of Truth now. Speed bonus infusing personas Judgment Arcana. Right, nice.
Hey, you guys? What are you doing? You can't be in here.
Oh, Dashi.
Oh, crap!
Let's run then.
We were keeping an eye on the suspect. The police officers outside seem to have their hands full helping Dojima-san. If Namatame were to escape, it would be a disaster for the police's reputation. And their trust in you, Adachi-san.
Oh, I see.
He couldn't argue with
We'll
that.
tighten security from now on, and I'll arrange for him to be transported out as soon as possible. So, if you guys can keep quiet about being in here, I'd really appreciate it.
Hey, no problem.
How is he, Doctor? He seemed to be extremely agitated a moment ago.
He seems fine for now, but he really needs his rest. Outside, everyone. Doctor's orders.
Understood.
Okay then.
We should go too. Let's get back to Nanako-chan's room.
Nanako-chan is still dead though.
So what's this thing we're missing, huh?
To tell the truth, there's something that's bothering me too. Why did he start killing people in the first place?
Well, he said himself it was to save them, right? So he killed his lover in order to save her and kept going?
Doesn't sound too feasible.
The police speculated the first murder was related to the affair, so they called in Namatame for questioning. But everything in his testimony and his bearing, no matter what they looked at, they found nothing suspicious. If he truly is twisted enough to believe that murder is a means of saving people, I think that would have shown through.
Maybe he faked it real well. Or maybe he started out with a normal motive and got a taste for killing after the first time.
No, if that were the case, his motive for killing that announcer would be even more inexplicable. Namatame and his wife were separated at the time. Both Misuzu Hiragi and himself testified that she had discarded him. Hiragi also knew about Yamano beforehand, and Namatame was shocked to hear of Yamano's death. Their relationship was known and was not strained to the point of murder. There's simply no motive in the affair angle.
Now that you said that, there is a good point.
The police invested a great deal of effort into investigating this point. Therefore, we have no convincing motive for Namatame to kill Mayumi Yamano.
Okay.
Although, her name was written in Namatame's own diary.
His reason for killing her.
It's still possible that he was crazy to begin with and no one realized, right?
I don't really get any of this.
Oh, this is so confusing!
Hey, we could hear you in there. This is a hospital. Maybe you should quiet down a little.
Oh, there you are, all of you.
Oh, sup?
Please come with me immediately.
What's going on?
Is it Nanako-chan?
What are you waiting for? Hurry, go!
What is it? Teddy?
Where am I?
Tedster? What are you even doing way out here?
Is this Teddy's world?
It looks hell empty.
This doesn't quite feel like it, though. I remember being at the hospital. That's right, Nana-chan. I couldn't do anything. Why do I even exist? I couldn't keep my promise. I lost my reason to be there.
Aw, man. Don't go about it that way.
That's it. I remember now. So, it was true.
What?
Guys! Sensei! What should I do?
So if he's here, what's with Teddy in the real world then?
Oh, there they are.
I hear beeping. Is Nanako alive?
Nanako-chan came around.
Huh? What did you
No
just say?
way!
Nanako-chan's alive?
Are you serious?
It's very rare to be resuscitated after one's heart and lungs fail, but it does happen.
Jesus.
But until I know why she collapsed in the first place, I can't say for sure how well she'll recover from here on.
I hope she does recover.
Still,
Oh, man.
Nanako-chan's a fighter, and she's trying desperately to stay alive.
Oh, man.
So this isn't a joke? You're actually telling the truth?
Nanako-chan. Oh my god.
Oh, Lord.
This is amazing!
Miracles do happen. I'm so glad.
No way.
I didn't know what I was gonna do.
Oh my god, emotions overflowing everywhere.
Come on. Stop crying, you two.
Oh, goodness Christ.
You all should go home for the night.
Definitely.
I'll speak with Dojima-san tomorrow about Nanako-chan's treatment. It's rather chilly outside. If it starts snowing, be careful not to catch a cold.
We'll do our best.
Wait a second, where's
That's
Teddy?
what I want to know.
I noticed he didn't come with us when we went to Namatame's room.
You're right. That's weird. I figured he wouldn't move from Nanako-chan's side.
Teddy, where did you go?
Oh yeah, he has a cell with him. Wait, I shouldn't use mine inside the hospital. I'll try calling him up once we're outside.
Okay then. Oh boy, Naoko-chan's still alive. Naoko's fighting hard to survive. You must wait and believe that she will recover.
Oh, there you are.
Dachi! Sup?
I forgot to tell you. Don't pull that again, okay? You can't just meet with the suspect like that. Anyway, I came to give you an update on Dojima.
How is he?
His wounds opened up a little, but he's treated now, and he's fast asleep.
Okay then. Thank you.
He'll be alright, don't worry. Knowing him, by this time tomorrow, he'll be on his feet and yelling at people again. Don't tell him I said that.
Don't worry about it.
Anyway, I heard Nanako-chan's on the road to recovery
Yeah.
again. You guys were being so dramatic that I got really worried. But this is good news. She'll be well again in no time.
I really hope so.
By the way, you're all alone at the house now, right? Well, enjoy your freedom while you can. Dojima-san and Nanako-chan will be back soon after all.
You sense Dachi's concerned for you. Oh man. Rank 8. Yeah, it does level up automatically though. Reach level 8.
Well, I better head back. You go home too, before it gets too late. See ya.
Alright, I'll see you around. Don't know when though.
Couldn't save. I couldn't save. Why? Mayumi. And that girl too.
What is he on about?
I couldn't save them. Huh? What's the matter? Feeling guilty all of a sudden? Sheesh.
Well, he's having trouble sleeping, so... whether that's the case. Still foggy, though. Alright.
I can't reach him. Did that stupid bear forget to charge the battery?
We took a quick look around the hospital, but there's no sign of him. I wonder where he went.
Oh, it's snowing.
Oh, it's snow.
Hey, you're right. Wow, it's been a while since I last saw real
Snow during the fog? Don't know how much
It
of a
doesn't
good thing
look
that
that
is.
pretty though because of this fog.
I guess this makes it the first snow of the year. It's freezing. Let's go home.
Yeah, you guys need to dress up
Hey,
warmly.
Yosuke, if you find Teddy, don't forget to contact us, alright?
I know. Let's meet up at the special headquarters tomorrow.
Okay then. And everyone's off to their homes.
Man, that Ted. I hope he just went back home by himself. He's probably fine. But I'll hurry home just in case. Well, see you tomorrow.
See ya. Alright, time for us to head back home, I guess. Back in Namatame's room. Was it really right to stop everyone from what they were about to do? For now, you have no way of knowing. Yeah. You remember that your cell phone has been off this entire time since you were at the hospital. Besides, killing him wouldn't have given you a better ending. There needs to be no messages. You should go home before you catch cold. Yeah, you better do that. Oh. Alright, so there is more game to it as well. Harvest vegetables, I guess. Okay then. Just in case, I'm also gonna save, because there's been some major story developments too. Just so I won't have to, like go all the way and like fast forward it as well. Alright, we're still on our own, but Nanako still has a pulse, and Dojima, while he still keeps opening up his own wounds, he's at the very least also still alive, so better keep that in mind. Nanako be alright. Then there was what happened in Namatame's hospital ward. Snow that started to fall, and the fog that won't disappear. What lies ahead from here on? You feel very tired. You should hurry and get some rest for the day. Alright, let's rest. Whoa! The Velvet Room! Sup? This...
Welcome.
Hey, Igor! Sup? Haven't spoken to you.
It's been quite some time.
It was. Seems you've been summoned to the Velvet Room.
Do not be alarmed. You are fast asleep in the real world. I have summoned you within your dreams.
I can tell.
Now then, your journey has taken you quite a distance thus far. Do you believe you'll be able to successfully solve this mystery?
I can solve it.
Splendid! The precise destination of this vehicle, that too is getting rather hard to judge.
Yeah, I can see by all the white fog outside.
If we continue driving blindly, we may end up leading you further away from the mystery that you must reach. Well, why don't we take a moment to look back on your journey?
Sure.
It was for that purpose that I summoned you here tonight. Margaret?
Alright. Voices you've heard many times before echo in your mind.
We are experiencing the words engraved into your memory during your journey.
Failing to understand and failing to listen are rather different things.
Alright, let's go ahead and think this through as much as we need.
If we leave any unanswered questions behind, we'll just be lying to ourselves.
I'll think as hard as I can and try to help.
Everyone's voices.
Come on, we've accomplished this much together, haven't we?
Right. Together.
And it seems you have comrades with you as well. those heading in the same direction through this dense fog.
What's that noise? Did we stop? Seems that the car has stopped moving.
We'll be parked for the moment while I confirm our current heading.
As I mentioned previously, this year will signal a great change in your life. Though there isn't much time left, it can be worth your while to take the time to stop and reflect.
People are like water flowing in a river. There is only one stream, but all who pass through it are affected differently.
Never thought of it that way, really.
Some travel fast. Some change their course, experiencing countless events as they travel down the river of time.
I see what you mean.
Just so. The state of this room reflects the scenery of your heart. Perhaps this may be a time for contemplation rather than action.
Ooh, who be ringing? You can hear something in the distance. Oh, I guess we're waking up then. Someone is at our doorstep. Sunday 4th. Seems that you've been sleeping until now. You heard the doorbell ringing. Someone seems to be at the door. Who is it? Yosuke!
Teddy's missing. I looked all over the neighborhood, but I couldn't find him anywhere.
I'm worried.
Yeah, me too. He was acting all weird lately. Rise and the others are checking inside the TV to see if he's gone back to the other side. We're meeting pretty soon, so will you come with me to Jeunesse?
Sure. Where could Teddy have gone? In any case you decide to go look for him. Can we find him at all? Ooh, it's daytime. Alright everybody, what's the sitch?
It's no use, man. We can't find him.
Ah, damn it.
No luck for me either. I didn't sense anything over there. The fog's so dense it might be affecting my readings. I wish I could do better. I'm sorry.
That Ted. Don't tell me he really went back to his world this time. We told him over and over that he could stay here.
Maybe something forced him to go back there. You recalled the mysterious dream you had last night. This may be a time for contemplation rather than action. This is what Igor said, but... let's think about this.
I guess that's all we can do right now. He plays dumb a lot, but he's attached to us deep down. He wouldn't disappear without saying anything, right?
Exactly.
I'm worried for Teddy myself, but let's trust in him and await his return. Right now, we must concentrate on the case.
Exactly.
It won't be long before Namatame is transferred to another location. We must hurry, or we will miss our only chance to get his perspective on this.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what we need to do. We need to ask him about everything that's happened and see, like, what was his perspective on everything.
You know, I've been thinking about the case since, but something just doesn't seem right.
Let's quickly review the facts. Of all the victims, only 2 were killed. Miss Yamano, the announcer, and Saki-san.
Yes, by the same 2 methods. King Moron was the only one who was killed by a different method, and he was only killed by Mitsuo Kubo, not Namatame.
From the documents we found in the car, we know Namatame had some sort of dealings with them. After that, there were multiple attempted murders in which we were targeted.
Yes.
It was only when he took Nanako-chan that we caught him in the act, identifying his modus operandi in the process.
When I hear you put it like that, sounds like the dude's guilty.
As a result of Namatame's arrest, the police admitted that Mitsuo Kubo was a mere copycat killer.
Back up to yesterday. Remember when you said Namatame didn't have a motive to kill the announcer? That's what's bothering me.
Right. Either he's completely nuts, or we're misunderstanding something.
Something tells me it's on the misunderstanding spectrum about this.
You lost me.
She's trying to say that if Namatame is sane, then there may be facts in the case we don't know about yet.
Sane or insane? Sounds like a play I saw before.
When he talks about saving people, what does that actually mean? I don't think there's any doubt that it includes kidnapping people and throwing them into the TV.
I think that is the case.
Could he mean saving them through death? He did call himself a savior and said that the other side is a wonderful world.
Except that it isn't.
So they'll be saved if they die? What a bunch of crap! The bastard should have gone and saved himself. What do you think, Senpai?
There's something else then to this.
If you think about it normally, it's gotta be him. But there ain't nothing normal about that world anyways.
There's something I've been wondering about for a while. When we first encountered him, he said, "You're the ones I saved. Don't worry, I'll save this girl too."
Oh, yeah, I remember that quote as well. But didn't think of it about now, especially considering everything that happened so far.
So, if he saves people by killing them, did he save us too? Wouldn't he actually have failed to save us?
You raise a good point. If he thinks that salvation comes only through death, his words to us make no sense. And another thing, the Namatame who appeared on the Midnight Channel said he failed to save Nanako-chan.
Well, maybe he really was trying to save the victims by putting them inside the TV.
As crazy as it sounds, it makes sense.
Come on, don't get all quiet like that. You guys know I just say the first dumb thing that pops into my head.
I wouldn't call it that dumb, really.
The possibility that he truly intended to save us.
But he's still the one who threw in Saki-senpai and that announcer, right? Sure, we haven't nailed down his motives, but that doesn't change the fact that he killed them. Or what? You think someone else was involved? What makes you think so?
Could be. Possibility of a culprit besides Namatame. There'd be something that proves this possibility. Ooh, the warning letter.
Warning letter? Oh yeah. Whatever happened to that thing?
The last one Dojima took with him.
If Namatame's the killer, he must have been the one who wrote it, right?
Let's review them.
You recall that the first warning letter said, "Don't rescue anymore." And the second one said, "If you don't stop this time, someone closer will be put in and killed."
Yes, that's right.
Isn't that kind of odd? Would someone who thinks he's saving people by killing them write stuff like "don't rescue" or "kill"?
Yeah, and the "will be put in and killed" part doesn't make sense either. If the killer was writing it, wouldn't it be more like "I'll put in and kill"?
Hey, could this mean...
Namatame didn't write it.
Yeah, it's almost like someone else wrote this letter.
But who then?
But only the killer would write such a letter and deliver it to Dojima-san's house, right? If someone else wrote it, that could only mean...
Dear God. Since this is such an unusual case, I was absolutely convinced that other than the Kubo incident, there was one culprit.
So Namatame really was trying to save his victims?
I guess.
Everything is exactly the opposite of what it first seemed. In Namatame's parlance, failing would have been the first two cases when the victims died. If he had used his method twice and failed both times, he would hardly have continued using the TV. And yet he did. It all seems to suggest that someone else wrote this warning letter while observing the entire case.
Someone else? Then it wasn't Namatame that killed Saki-senpai and the announcer?
We can't say for certain yet. We urgently need to speak with Namatame face to face.
Yeah, I think it would be best to actually get his perspective so we can fully form our assumptions. We all work together to make another step towards truth. Without Teddy, unfortunately, we still haven't found him yet. Rank 2. Very good.
How though? After what happened yesterday, they said they're gonna tighten security.
I have a plan, but there's no time to waste. Let's hurry to the
Oh,
hospital.
we're going now? Okay, then. Alright, I guess we're questioning Namatame.
Hey, this place is off limits.
I'm a consultant with the police. I'd like a few words with Namatame-san. May I go in?
This is Unit 252, requesting confirmation on an ID. Name of Naoto Shirogane. Huh? Ah, understood. I see. Well, you're on the list. I can give you a few minutes, but I'll have to record your conversation with him for security purposes. Not that I expect you'll get anything coherent out of the guy. He's been spouting nothing but gibberish.
I'd like him to accompany me as well. He has no identification, but this is an emergency situation, and he's here in Detective Dojima's stead.
Huh? Detective Dojima sent him? I wasn't informed of this.
I'll vouch for his identity.
Well, I guess it's better than dealing with the man himself. We have our hands full with the transport procedures, so the last thing we need is Detective Dojima running wild. Detective Adachi is busy somewhere too. This is Unit 252. Huh? I see.
Has something happened?
There's something about a suspicious object out in the lobby.
Ah, well then, this works out nicely. You should back up your colleagues downstairs. We'll keep watch over Namatame-san.
Okay.
A disturbance in a hospital lobby, after all. It sounds serious.
If anything happens, hit the nurse call button. I'll leave the rest to you.
Okay then.
Understood. Please be careful.
All right.
I knew they were undermanned, but I didn't expect it to go this smoothly.
Okay then. Let's get inside.
Wow.
There's nothing much inside that suspicious object, so he won't be gone long.
All right, and now's our chance to talk to Namatame.
All right. Let's see just what he has to say. And there he is. He looks kind of well rested, actually. All right. Let's see.
Namatame-san, there's something we'd like to ask you.
He's still terrified of us. I don't blame him. We almost tried to kill him.
It's tempting to think that you were the culprit behind this entire case. And to be honest, there are many in this town who hope you are. But we are here to learn the truth. So please, answer our questions.
Okay then. Huh? It seems that he understands what you're saying. Oh, so he's viable to questions then. Alright then. What should you ask him? Out of the three of these. Alright, first, is saving killing people?
No. If nobody saves them, they'll be killed. That's why I put them in there.
So you really was trying to save him. Alright, so next. Did you kill those two girls? Yamano and Konishi.
They were killed. I couldn't save them.
They were killed by someone else then. If that's how he's putting it, that they were killed. Okay, who did you throw in first?
Huh? Me?
Yukiko. So all of this started with Yukiko. So according to him, he had nothing to do with Konishi or Yamano. Alright then.
Then tell me if my estimation is correct so far. After discovering the Yamano and Konishi incidents, you realized an appearance on the Midnight Channel meant certain death. Thus, to save her from that fate, you kidnapped Yukiko Amagi. You couldn't let her be killed, so you threw her into the TV, preventing the killer in this world from reaching her. And you repeated the process, as more individuals appeared on the Midnight Channel. It all falls into place. His body is weak, but his mind is sound. He's trying to tell us the truth.
Yeah, but if the stuff he's saying is true...
There's another killer who murdered the first two victims?
Turns out to be the case then.
Indulge us in a few more questions.
Okay then. What next? What should you ask him? Who killed the first two? Why did you enter the TV?
I didn't know. I never thought it would be that kind of place.
Okay then. Doesn't tell us much. Who killed the first two then?
I have no idea. I want to know that too.
So he definitely was responsible for their deaths. Alright, that clears him up of some suspicion. Why the warning letters?
What are you talking about?
He has no idea about them.
As I thought.
Then that definitely was someone else. But who?
You believe me? Did they find him? Did they find the one who did such cruel things? Mayumi.
Please calm down. Our ability to find the culprit rests on you. We know about the other world. In fact, we're the only ones who can fully understand what you have to say.
Only You?
We did blame you for everything at first. But now I think we can accept whatever you got to tell us as
That's
truth.
all we have for now.
Please, tell us everything you can, calmly and slowly.
You're willing to listen? Do my story?
Yes, we need your perspective on things if we are to move forward with all of this.
Alright.
Alright, tell us how your story went.
Soon after my affair with Mayumi became common knowledge, I returned to my parents' home, as if to run away from the scandal. And I started drinking heavily to drown my anxieties. I hadn't been able to reach Mayumi at all, and that didn't help either. Mayumi, where are you? She'd been disgraced on all the afternoon shows, and forced to resign from the program she was on. I caused her so much trouble. I wanted to at least apologize to her, but I couldn't even do that. I lost the will and energy to do anything. Then, one day, the rumor I heard some time ago came back to me. Since I had nothing better to do, I sat down blankly in front of the TV and watched my own reflection.
And?
And all of a sudden, there was Mayumi. Mayumi? Is that you?
Okay.
The Mayumi inside the TV looked as if she was calling to me for help. Mayumi? Mayumi! When I reached out unthinkingly to touch her, my arm disappeared into the TV, as if I had dipped it into a pool of water. I was so shocked that I lost my balance and nearly fell face first into the TV.
Okay, that's interesting. He saw Mayumi Yamano on the day of the murder.
I was so scared. I couldn't understand what just happened. I thought maybe I'd gone insane.
Okay, so that definitely confirms that he had nothing to do with the first murder. But what about the second one?
In the end, I decided to think of it as just a dream, and I went back to the city the next day after finishing work. The next afternoon when I got to work, I was fired on the spot, as I expected. That wasn't what broke me, though. It was Mayumi being found dead. And not just that, but it had happened in my hometown.
Almost right in the day when you saw her on the TV, huh? Namatame's casting his eyes downward painfully.
I was dumbstruck. But later on, I remember the image of Mayumi I'd seen that night. Was it not a dream? Could it really have been an SOS from Mayumi? I hadn't touched another TV because the first time was so terrifying, but I decided to try it again, and I confirmed that none of it was a dream. So that image, was it something Mayumi showed me, calling for help? That's how I felt.
And eventually, you learned of the Midnight Channel.
Yeah, turns out that was the case.
I remembered that when Mayumi was alive, she was chasing a rumor about some bizarre TV program.
Whoa! So the Midnight Channel was active even before we got a glimpse of it when we first came to Inaba. Damn, how long was it active?
I'd heard about it before, but I thought it was just an urban
And even
legend.
he heard about it before.
But then Mayumi appeared on it, and later turned up dead. The more I thought about it, the harder it became to believe that the two events were unrelated. Soon after that, I came back to Inaba to answer the police's questions.
Yeah, I remember you were questioned.
I'd lost my job, and I wanted to know the truth of Mayumi's death for myself. Then, on another rainy night, someone else appeared on the Midnight Channel. It was a girl.
Saki Kunishi, wasn't it?
She looked like she was calling for help, just like Mayumi. The first thing that came into my mind was, maybe this girl will be the next to die.
And that was Saki-senpai.
I'd been following all the news about Mayumi, so I noticed right away that she was the girl who found Mayumi's body. And if my hunch was right, she'd be the next victim. I didn't want her to die the way Mayumi did, so I desperately kept watching. I was consumed with the idea of rescuing her. Then, little by little, her image on the screen came into sharper focus.
Sharper focus. That's how it was for us when we were finding victims.
It became sharper?
So someone else tossed her into the TV. That's why the image became sharper. That also confirms that he wasn't behind Saki's death. We're definitely dealing with someone else.
How did you find out it was her?
After I came back, my father couldn't bear to see me in such low spirits and gave me a job with the family business.
Delivery man, yeah.
I met that girl when I delivered a package to the liquor store.
You were trying to warn her, didn't you? After seeing her.
After agonizing over it, I decided to meet her and told her to
I
be
take
careful.
it this happened right before she was pushed in.
But that same night, on the TV...
But she was already pushed in there, wasn't she?
She looked as if she was being engulfed by some black shape. She was writhing in pain. That's why I warned her. Why won't she pick up the phone? Come on! Please!
Well, so much for that then.
The next day, they found her dead.
Yeah, I remember that.
I knew she was going to be murdered, but I couldn't save her. I blamed myself, thinking there must have been something I could have done.
What could you have done? She was way over that way and you were over here. Besides, you had no idea what you were dealing with.
There was no one who depended on me. Nobody at work. Not even my wife.
That's sad.
Mayumi was the only one who accepted me for who I was. But she was murdered. And the same person killed another girl. I was beside myself. I couldn't forgive myself for doing nothing.
You really did love Miss Yamano.
Yes. From the bottom of my heart. Before I was married, my wife made it big in show business. I was happy for her, but it put a strain on our relationship.
I think I can kind of relate.
It was around that time when I met Mayumi. She was interviewing our candidate for the next election. She was a big-name announcer, but she only worked with local stations, and her attitude towards work was similar to mine. We both came from Inaba, so she was easy to talk to. I knew it was wrong, but I couldn't help getting intimate with her. She gave meaning to my life.
So your relationship with your wife was strained and Yamano kind of filled up that void that you were feeling. That's actually understandable and kind of cute in a way. Well, aside from the whole affair nonsense and that.
Soon after Saki-san was found dead, yet another girl appeared on TV. That was you.
Yukiko.
She'll be kidnapped next. And murdered. I can't let her end up like Mayumi and that other girl. This time, I'm gonna do something. My opponent was a murderer who left no clues to his identity. I thought hard about what I could do to protect her from someone like that. I'll never convince her. If she gets suspicious and they arrest me, who'll save her then? The girl inside the TV looked as if she was smiling at me. And that's when it hit me. I apparently had the power to go through the TV screen to the other side. Then, what if I put her into the TV and give her shelter there before the killer gets her?
How exactly did you get to that assumption? No way just by putting your hand through the TV, though.
What are you trying to tell me? That it's safe over there? Is that it? The girl inside the TV seemed to smile at me again. And I thought, no matter what kind of place it might be, it's better than being slaughtered. Once things calm down, I could just let her out again. If she's inside the TV, there's no way they can find her.
And it's at that point he decided to act in such a way. For as misguided as it was his way of saving people.
It felt as if everything was starting to come together in my mind. Could it be that Mayumi gave me that power to prevent any more victims from meeting her fate? Was it my mission to save people? But there was a big problem. If I explained the situation to the victim, they wouldn't understand. I had already tried that and failed miserably. It seemed the only thing I could do was to take them away. If that was my mission, I'd just have to do it. Or so I thought.
And all of that led you to today.
Mayumi, please lend me your strength.
Okay, that's a bit cheesy. You didn't have to do that. Alright. That was eye-opening, to say the least.
So, since you thought people who appeared on the Midnight Channel would be killed, you kidnapped us in order to save us.
Mission? Give me a break! You never stopped and wondered about any of this?
I thought I was the only one who could help them. I did call the police, but they didn't believe me.
Of course they wouldn't, especially after all this.
I knew the area well, thanks to my job. I had a large truck, and I could move around without suspicion. I thought my job as a delivery man would be the perfect cover for my mission. I thought no one else could do it. But are you telling me that I wasn't saving them?
No, not in the slightest.
If a person is still within the TV world when the fog appears here, they will die.
Exactly.
Beginning with Yukiko-san, the people you thought you had been saving were, in fact, in mortal peril.
You could have had, what, 6 victims in total, if that went through.
It was my friends here who really saved us all.
I had a feeling that was it. When I went after that little girl and entered the TV myself, for the first time, I had some doubts about myself.
You refer to Nanako-chan, correct?
The police were after me, so I had to get away. But I still felt I needed to do everything I could to save that poor little girl. That's why I went in after her. But the TV world was completely different than I imagined. Such an abominable, grotesque place.
I mean, didn't you have suspicions about that before you started putting everyone? I mean, come on, man.
I knew that the 3 of you who I saved went back to your normal lives, so I didn't realize how terrible that world was. I never knew. You couldn't even get out of that place on your own.
No. That's a cowardly way to put it. I'd probably already begun to realize that it was a dangerous place. If I hadn't, I wouldn't have gone to see you all.
See us?
See us? Wait, are you talking about the concert we did at
Oh,
Jazz?
yeah. I remember seeing glimpses of him twice during that concert. That was him.
Yes. I wanted to know why the ones I saved were all hanging out with each other, and how much you remembered. But in the end, I couldn't bring myself to say anything and ran home. I must have felt too guilty. But all the doubts and anxieties I'd been unconsciously suppressing exploded out when I entered the television myself. I thought I was going insane. I probably did. And you know the rest. When I came to, I was lying in a hospital bed.
So that's how it was.
You really were trying to save people.
For as misguided as it was, like I said.
But I ended up doing just the opposite. What a fool. I always wanted to enter the world of politics and become useful to society.
Don't bother with politics, please. Too much bureaucracy and red tape with that.
But after losing my job and the woman I loved, all I had left was this power. I convinced myself that world was some sort of sanctuary, and I secretly believed myself to be a hero.
And that's why it became a heaven that we traversed later.
I never doubted what I saw on TV, and believed everything was as I wanted it to be. I didn't think for myself at all. That's why I couldn't protect them. I'm to blame for all of this.
What's done is done, so move on from it.
I suppose so. But the things I've done are too serious to be brushed aside like that. I have no intentions of running away from my crimes. I'm prepared to face the consequences.
At least you have the right attitude about it.
Kidnapping is already a serious crime. And on top of that, I put all those lives in danger.
I wonder how much you can get for kidnapping in Japan, really.
I'm sorry.
The Midnight Channel and the other world, you can hardly be blamed for failing to understand them properly. We must apologize to you as well. Had we let our emotions blind us to the truth, we would have piled all the—
Oh shit, sorry, I skipped.
I guess from your point of view, people did stop dying once you started saving people. The more you did it, the more you really believed you were preventing their deaths.
Sorry about skipping, guys. I'm really sorry.
I'm such a joke.
You're not a joke. You tried to save people. Like I said, for as misguided as it was, you tried to do the good thing, and you didn't know anything about the Midnight Channel, so don't blame yourself.
I'm sorry. I'm getting a little tired.
Couldn't sleep, I take it. All the copies back.
What are you all crammed in here for?
My apologies. We'll be leaving now.
Wait. I beg you, please, find whoever's behind this. You children are the only ones who know about that world.
That is our plan. You can chill.
It's all clear now. He never committed any murders. It was another party who threw the first 2 victims into the TV.
Yep, you've taken another step towards the truth. One thing that's left to find out is who this other party is. Seekers of True Social Link reach level 3. Power to create personas of the Judgment Arcana has grown.
Now get out of here!
Okay.
I told you, he's almost ready to be transported. We can't have anything else happen. Sheesh. I better not see you rascals here again.
Okay, cool it. Damn it. Alright, we got his perspective, and it was eye-opening to say the least.
Nanako-chan looks like she's in pain. She's fighting for dear life.
This was the last place we saw Teddy, right? He was so worried about her.
How can he flake out like this when we have to find the real killer?
The police consider the matter closed. We'll have to do all the investigation from here on out. Let's revisit Saki-san and Miss Yamano's incidents and see if we can turn up fresh details.
But it's been over 6 months. Wouldn't the trail be cold by now?
I know, but we can't give up. We're the only ones who understand what's really going on. And you never know. People might remember some things now because they've had so much time to think about it. Let's split up and talk to people all over town tomorrow. We'll meet up in the evening to discuss our findings.
I hope we can find out something about Teddy, too.
Alright. So, new mission. Find the real killer. Tomorrow you'll all be going out to talk to people in town. Let's finally help uncover the information that will lead you to the true culprit. Decide to go home early today and get some rest. Okay then, so do we still have a chance to save? Let's check real quick. Oh yes, we do actually. Alright, you know what? With that, I'm gonna end this video here. So, we got a fresh perspective from the would-be suspect of the killings. According to him, there's another culprit altogether who was involved with the killings of Miss Yamano and Miss Konishi. Whoever the hell that could be is anyone's guess, and we're still on the lookout for Teddy. He obviously left back to the Midnight Channel, so we're going to be looking for him. And our search for him begins tomorrow, as well as to finding new leads for the killer. Oh boy, just when you think you're finished, this game throws like new and exciting twists at you. And that's one of the main reasons why I grew to love the Persona games so damn much. Man, it's really shaping up to be one of my favorite games of all time. And that is quite a feat considering my own personal taste in video games. So, without further ado, that's it for this video. Thank you all who watched, and hopefully I will see you all next time. Bye bye.